here it is, moment of truth. Will my $20 tanks hold water with my garden hose contraption connecting them all? I built a lot of water slides as a kid, but I don't think that gives me any right to try and plumb the tanks in a bus with garden hoses. Anyways, here we go. Water's on. So it comes in from the outside via this hose, and it is now filling this tank, which has been plugged and connected down there. The connection wraps around to this tank, this tank has its own fill, which is just working as an air escape right now. And this tank has its own 3 or 4 plugs. It's the old water sensor. So the idea is that tank will fill, this tank will fill, and then this will be the line going to my shower. Right now it's just going out the bus so that these 2 tanks can fill, and then I'll go, I guess, take it down further out the side of the bus and it'll empty them. I don't know. So far we're dry. Getting them full is one thing. What I'm worried about is once they're full, then they're gonna have some pressure behind them. So far, I think that's dry. I don't know if any water has started to move into this other tank here. It should be. It's as high as. The idea is I'll have 2 tanks, one under Nora's bed, one under my bed here. And then this hose will go through this wall here, and on the other side of the wall so I'll have both those tanks for shower water, and then this hose will creep through the wall here, run up inside the wall, and I'll have my propane hot water inline heater right here. And this will eventually put a shower pan down and build a little shower stall right here, with the toilet off to my left, which will be gravity fed still, I think. I don't know if that's the best idea. I might as well just plumb it into the rest of the tanks, but I don't know where else to put that tank. And maybe the gravity fed idea is not so bad. I don't know. Alright, first issue. This hose here was my intake at the top of the tank here, and I thought I had enough air intake on this tank that it would be enough for this tank as well. But what happens is once it gets past the connection between the 2 tanks, once the water level gets past there, this tank here starts to bubble up because it has no air intake. So now I'm filling through that hose at the bottom of the back of this tank. So this tank has air intake right here, and this tank has air intake right there. Both of them have air intake at the top of the tanks. So the 2 tanks are connected at the bottom here. The water's coming in at the back end of this one on the bottom. This tank has air intake right here on the top, and this tank has air intake right there on the top. So now we shouldn't see this bubbling. It still has it bubbling, but theoretically the air should be coming out the top of the tank through the hose. This tank's filling, but that tank is not filling. So that tank is still got an air pressure thing going on. Maybe it's because there's water in this hose still. So I'm gonna see if I can't drain the water out of that hose. And then maybe that tank will start to fill too, because this one's almost halfway full. And it's doing good, it's not bubbling up. But I did just notice That's a pretty bad crack. So what I'm gonna do, everything's holding water right now. I'm gonna get C-clamps or pipe clamps and wrap them around all these fittings. Probably get some of that extra special tape to go around the outside. And before I do that, I'll glue over that crack, and hopefully I can get a good JB Weld or Gorilla Glue or something. Make these tanks last for a while. But I can't afford new tanks. Alright, let's see if I can go figure out why this tank isn't filling.